What's up? It's our secret Saturday night sermon, our secret teachings of Jesus, our secret studies after midnight of the Nag Hammadi scriptures. And for those of you who are new to these secret sermons, I come in late on Saturday after work usually, and the sages of old found it to be very powerful to study after midnight when they would study the Torah. They found, and the Zohar, they found that it would reveal more light when done after midnight. And there are a bunch of mystical reasons for that, but one or two being, so first being that midnight is a liminal space between beginning and ending one day and beginning another, and that liminal space is a very powerful and sacred space in any beginnings and endings in life. Also, midnight, because of that, is a powerful time for connecting. It's the thinnest the veil is through the day, and it's a popular and powerful time to do magic. And thirdly, when you have to push through your comfort zone, especially if you have to like overcome discomfort in order to study or to do something like a mikveh, a mitzvah, then it makes it even more blessed because you put yourself out to do it. You made a sacrifice. You allowed your flesh to be broken and put second, to elevate your spirit and your soul. So good on ya. So we're studying after midnight. We are studying the book, Secret Book of James. James as in Jesus' brother. Jesus and James Jones. Jesus and James. And it's from the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and basically we are studying this together. So this portion might be the second or third time I've read it, and I feel like I'm getting what's being said here, and you can listen. I'm going to read it poorly, and you can see what you think of it. So let's begin. So this portion is called "Woe to you, blessed are you." My bangs are crazy. Oh, I do want to tell a quick story about work today. So I had auto pickup set on the app so that if anybody released a shift, I'd be able to pick up a shift tonight because I wasn't originally scheduled. So I got to work, and I noticed that I wasn't on the floor plan, and I was like, oh, I wonder if there's a mistake, or I wonder if I should just leave. So I went back to the office to ask about it, and they were like, oh, no, you're supposed to be here. Oh my gosh, thanks for catching it. Like, we definitely need you, stay. And so then they went out and redid the floor plan, and then, like, some of the more dramatic people that I mention sometimes, vaguely and nameless, they threw a fit because they thought they were going to get like these big tables or big sections with like a whole lot of tables. And basically they were short a few servers on the floor, so they needed people anyway. So when they added me to the floor, it was just like any other night anyway. And I had like a small section. So I was just like, whatever, I'm glad to just be here and I'll make whatever work no matter what. And everybody was so pissed. Like, I could feel the tides turning. Like, it literally felt like showgirls. I thought they were going to push me down the stairs and try to, like, break my legs. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, this is... what is this competition about? It's so stupid. These are much younger people than me. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm just here trying to be professional, trying to make fucking money, to pay my rent, get some, like, the good hairspray. You know what I'm saying? Like, get over it. And so they kept throwing fits, and they kept asking me, like, which shift did you pick up? Like, whose shift was it? I was like, I don't know. Like, a bunch of them got released and then canceled. And then by the time, like, it told me to come, I don't care whose it was. I'm just, like, seeing that I'm on the schedule. And so they're, like, doing, like, tattletales, like, all kinds of things. And finally, I guess it gets sorted out, and Ash is like, oh, okay, and just to like calm you guys down, I know that I made a mistake on the floor plan, so I'll adjust it so that it's more fair. And so I keep continuing to do the side work, and I'm just like, whatever, these people could eat me, and I would have a good shift either way. And so I had a 3-table section with one of the large party tables in it originally. And then like I came back to the server area where everybody's doing their side work, and they were like, Oh, Liz, did you see that they updated the floor plan? That I think that she changed it. You might want to check to see what your schedule is now. And like, I think everybody was just seeing it just then. And so I went over to check. I had like a 5-table section. Like my table, like the seat number increased and everybody else was like, what? It happened again. It's even worse than it was. And I'm like, you know what? I just didn't say anything. I just kept going about my night because nothing's gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna get me down. And what I want happens. And I'm telling you, y'all, I'm strapped with a lot of tourmaline. It's the I'm rubber, you're glue of crystals and stones. So they did not. Those people did not have as good of a night as I did, and I'm sorry for them. It's too bad, but they were really, really nasty. They were like snakes in the grass. I was just like, man, this is pitiful. But woe to you, and blessed are you. And we will begin. This is me reading poorly to you, trying to act it out in a monologue. You wretches, you poor devils, you pretenders to the truth, you falsifiers of knowledge, you sinners against the Spirit, do you dare to listen when from the beginning you should have been speaking? Do you dare to sleep when from the beginning you should have been awake so that heaven's kingdom might receive you? I tell you the truth, it is easier for a holy person to sink into defilement and for an enlightened person to sink into darkness than it is for you to reign or not to reign. I have remembered your tears, your mourning, and your grief. They are far from us. You who are outside the Father's inheritance, weep when you should, mourn, and preach what is good. The sun is ascending as proper. I tell you the truth, if I had been sent to those who would listen to me and spoken with them, I would never have come down to earth. Now be ashamed. Look, I shall be leaving you and going away, and I do not want to stay with you any longer, just as you yourselves have not wanted this. Follow me quickly. This is why I tell you, for I came down. This is why I tell you, for I came down. You are loved ones. You are the loved ones who will bring life to many. Invoke the Father. Pray to God frequently, and he will be generous with you. Blessed is one who has seen you with him when he is proclaimed among the angels and glorified among the saints. Yours is life. Rejoice and be glad as children of God. Observe his will that you may be saved. Accept correction from me and save yourselves. I am mediating for you with the Father, and he will forgive you many things. Yeah. Okay, now let's go back and unpack this. I love this. I love how like fed up Jesus gets with people. I mean, like he must get so tired for people. Just like even like his closest followers, like half of them like don't know what the fuck he's talking about most of the time, and he's just like, oh, just let me die. Just let me move on. Okay, you wretches, you poor devils, you pretenders to the truth. Basically, he's like, you poor sad saddos. I feel for you. Bless your hearts. You pretenders to the truth. And it's like, they're always like, yeah, Jesus, we get it. We know what you're saying. We're going to write the book on it. And he's like, I don't think you're really good at it. But yeah, the disciples would get really caught up in like literal understanding of like the things that Jesus would say. And Jesus was a mystic poet. He was trying to communicate in parables. He was telling truths that are so big that they can't be spoken directly in like plain common knowledge. It's like a truth so huge that you almost have to talk about it from the side. And they just aren't getting it. And they're like so sure that they get it. And they're like, yeah, Jesus, when are you going to take over the government? Are we going to be in your cabinet? Like, and he's like, I'm going to die. Like, they're going to kill me. And I'm going to be a martyr. And these people think that we're just going to like take over the government. And like, they're still just not understanding. So he's like, you pretenders to the truth. Not to mention, and we all do this. It's like we have the concepts, We get the theories, but we're not embodying what we're learning in practice. And we're also not taking ownership of it. We're still trying to get permission. We're still trying to get someone to explain it to us. We're still trying to get someone to tell us what the best answer is for us. And instead of trusting what we know we can hear. Like sometimes we need to talk it out with people, and we need someone to give us a message that will clarify something for us, or will send us in a direction. But what we do is we keep second guessing it. And, there's a verse that we talked about recently, and it was, blessed art those who hear the word of God and keep it. And I don't think that that's necessarily talking about being a good boy and girl and like following all the rules. I think it's about when you get those glimmers of hope to hold on, because it's like an ice cream cone that's going to melt in a minute, and something else in this world is going to come along and try to shit in your cereal, try to ruin your shift, try to ruin your night, try to ruin your day. And you have to hold on vigilantly to your happiness and to your inner peace. And you have to hold it sacred because you're cultivating it. And when you work on something and you earn it, it means more to you. You don't want to blow it. You falsifiers of knowledge, you sinners against the Spirit, do you still dare to listen when from the beginning you should have been speaking? Do you still dare to sleep when from the beginning you should have been awake so that heaven's kingdom might receive you? So this is like, yo, are you really sitting here like after my death, after my resurrection? I'm like, we have gone through all of this together. You had front row seats. I have told you, explained every way I can, but you're still determined to believe that you don't understand and that you need me here to hold your hand through the whole thing. But I need you to take ownership. I need you to take sovereignty over this information that you have, that you don't even need me to tell you. It lives within you. And if you had the real desire to connect with it, then you would know how to do what I do and go off into the mountains and go off into the woods and be alone and breathe and connect with the Spirit and listen and be quiet and be comfortable in your own company and sit in stillness, push through the discomfort, and wait for the truth to come forward. Because the truth, the real truth, nobody can give you that. They can give you reflections of it. They can give you morsels. They can give you hints and clues for you to find on your own. But you cannot be given this. You cannot be spoon-fed this. You have to take ownership and find this on your own and claim it for yourself. Because this information that everyone, all of us have access to, you are going to understand it and experience it in a way that is unique to you. And you have to go out and be that example and explain things to the people who can hear only, they need to hear it the way that you say it. And that other group over there, they need to hear it the way that Joel Osteen says it. And the group over there, they want to hear it the way that the Telesummit or the TV preacher who's like over the top extra, they want to hear it from that guy. Some people love hearing it from the hellfire and brimstone people. And our people, they like hearing it like this, we like to talk real talk. And we're taking ownership, right? We're not asking for permission, and we're not asking if it's okay or if this is right or if this is correct. We are understanding what feels like living truth. And when we know that truth, it sets us free. And when we live it and experience it, we know it so well that no one could ever tell us different. And that's why it's such a big deal when the next line says, so I tell you the truth, or hold on. So how dare you be asleep when you should have been awake, so that heaven's kingdom might receive you. So you're going around with your head in the sand. You need to wake up. You need to wake up from the sleep. Wake up from the illusion. This is all an avatar. We are Mario in a game world, okay? And so every time you believe all those fearful illusions, you're falling into the game and you're sucked in, and you're no longer in the driver's seat. You're no longer a sovereign. You are acting like you're the victim of circumstance, right? So wake up. Wake up and really hear the truth, the revelation behind these teachings that I'm giving you. I don't want you to worship me like fangirl. I want you to listen to the principles that I'm trying to teach you and embody those in your own life, and then take them and then expand on them when I'm gone. I need you to be the teachers. I need you to continue to grow this information, to pull out more than what has already been revealed. Jesus only got to come and do one world tour, one album. There's more to it. We were left to discover that, to let that blossom from within our hearts, but we've just been asleep. We've been arguing, we've been bickering, we've been worried about all the wrong things for 2,000 years. I tell you, it is easier for a holy person to sink into defilement than for an enlightened person to sink into the darkness, than for you to reign or not to reign. And that is saying that, like, even though once you live something for yourself and you know it to be true, it's like no one can ever tell you different. This is literally saying, like, it would be easier for someone to go back into a lie and to fall back into depression and fearful disbelief than it would be at this point, like, as determined you are to take this so literally and to believe that the way that you're believing it is correct. Like, I can't help you at that point. You are determined to not understand this. You are determined to not ascend past your material, physical block of wood, like, grasp on this. It would be easier for a completely enlightened person to backslide. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be like, it'd be like Eckhart Tolle, like, suddenly, like, having a knockdown blowout fit that, like, ruined it all, you know? And it's like, no, like, he's not even, like, things just don't upset him like they used to. And so, I don't know. They're just making a point here. I have remembered your tears, your mourning, and your grief. They are far from us. Once again, like, I understand the hardships that you go through, and I understand that things can feel scary, and they can be devastating, and it can be heartbreaking here. I get that, but like I said, when he says they are far from us, he's speaking to that illusion that this is all just a blink of an eye, and that we're gonna die and wake up and do it all again. And it just keeps going on, and our soul never leaves. It never dies. It just continues to evolve and transcend and come back in different representations. My hair is like crazy right now. It actually looked pretty good tonight, but until I got, like, turned the camera on, and I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, okay, so they are far from us, so it's all an illusion. You who are outside the Father's inheritance, weep when you should, mourn, and preach what is good. The Son is ascending as proper. So being outside of the Father's inheritance means that you are not overcoming yourself to ascend, to be received into the kingdom. Meaning, like, you're still in Egoville, like, fighting that inner battle inside, and you haven't even been into the kingdom yet. You haven't even seen, you're like in the parking lot of, like, where the shuttle has to take you, like, you know. And this is like the people who are closest to Jesus. They're still not in the kingdom. They're busy dissing Mary for being in the kingdom. Much like my coworkers tonight. I tell you the truth, if I'd been sent to those who would listen to me and I would have spoken with them, I would have never come down to earth. Now be ashamed. And it's like, basically, like, I wouldn't have even have needed to come into this realm had you been listening to me when I was talking to you in the non-physical, when all of this truth was in your hearts to begin with. I wouldn't have even needed to come. Or I wouldn't have needed to stay as long as I did. And if what I said while I was on the physical earth with you had made any sense, and if you had grasped any of it and listened to what I said, or tried harder to discuss this with me and get clarity, I wouldn't be having to come back right now from the nether realms where I'm trying to save Sophia from the pits of hell. And I've got all this stuff going on in these other aeons and mysteries and kingdoms. And I keep having to come back here and try to make sure that we're all on the same page with the material as we're going forward. Basically, like, Sophia needs to be saved. You should be ashamed. Look, I shall be leaving you and go away. I do not want to stay with you any longer, just as you yourselves have not wanted this. So he's like, look, I've got work to do. I'm going to have to leave you with this. Y'all just got to figure it out. I have work to do. I need to go away, and I don't want to be here as much as you don't want to let go of the physical representation of me. Y'all need to understand that I can connect with you through the portal of your heart, and that there is a bridge there for us to connect to. And that's been the whole point, is to try to teach y'all how to connect through the heart, and that we don't need the physical, that it's all an illusion. And the fact that you keep wanting me to come back so that you can see me and so that I can like teach you all this again is proof in the pudding that you do not understand that you can connect with this information, with my universal crisis, through the heart. So I need to go. Goodbye. Follow me quickly. Like, hurry up and finish your work here, and you can come with me too. This is why I tell you I came down. You are loved ones. You are the ones who will bring life to many. Like, you're sacred people. We love you. You are the loved ones. You're the ones who are going to save each other. But you got to like realize that about yourselves. Invoke the Father. Pray to God frequently, and he will be generous with you. Blessed is the one who has seen you with him when he is proclaimed among the angels and glorified among the saints. Yours is life. Rejoice and be glad as children of God. So blessed is one who has seen you with him. And I think that means that blessed are people who see you radiating Christ-likeness because you are following the principles and you have learned them, and you have sacrificed your own flesh, your own ego, and you have started to transcend your own bullshit. That is going to be a blessing on others. That is going to demonstrate what I did for you, not these, I don't know, very legalistic, dogmatic, going on and ons. Observe his will that you may be saved. And I don't think that this is like, do what you're told. I think it's like, follow the plan. Like learn these spiritual laws. Learn how to govern and wield the forces, learn how to wield the governing forces of the universe, learn the spiritual laws, and know how to harmonize yourself within them. And then you can heal the sick. You can raise the dead. Like, y'all can start doing some chores around here. And if you did understand those things, then you'd probably understand that it's pointless to keep raising people from the dead, because they're all going to die again anyway. Their time has come. We're going to overpopulate. Like, at some point, you have to be willing to let go and release. You can't be so attached to the flesh, because you have to know in faith that it's all an illusion, that when you jump off that ledge, 4 feet down, you're going to land on the ground again. Accept correction from me and save yourselves. Meaning, listen to all of the secrets and the truths and the wisdom that I've told you, and start applying that to your life, and things will change. I am mediating for you with the Father, and he will forgive you many things. And I think that beyond what we can, when we do the best we can with our humanity and using the divine part of our humanity, we can achieve magic. What is beyond that, magic is what we earn through discipline when we wield those spiritual laws and those governing forces. But miracles are given in grace, and we don't earn those. But I think that sometimes we merit a miracle, and we're saved through grace and unconditional love and eternal love. Yeah. All right, guys, that's our secret teaching for tonight. I hope you liked it. We love Jesus. Yeah, gotta go. It's 24 minutes in, and I don't know if I have enough room to export the video now. Ciao.